there, welcome back to another vinyl video, and this is 1000 greatest vinyl LPs from my own personal record collection, and I've certainly got plenty. And in fact, I've been buying quite a lot of new music of late because there is some really good new music turning up, and I always like to buy it on vinyl. And just to prove that you can still buy these records on vinyl LP, I've picked out 6 new ones that I've acquired recently. So the first of these, we've got Haim. These are an American group. They're actually a trio of sisters, but we've got featured an awful lot on Radio 2, and I just really quite liked it. It sounds an awful lot like LaRue, which is another group which is big at the moment. So if you're into LaRue, Haim is a group worth checking out. If you're into Haim, check out LaRue. I don't actually have the new LaRue album just yet. I believe it was only released to buy a few days ago, so that's probably one of the reasons. Also, I'm all spent up because I bought all these records. We've got some really good tracks on this. Don't Save Me, Honey and I, If I Could Change Your Mind, The Wire, Forever, Falling, Days Are Gone. There's a couple of tracks that have been played quite extensively on radio. Very basic cover artwork. This was actually quite a good price vinyl LP. Unfortunately, hipsters have got in on the act, and it's pushed the price of vinyl LPs up. On the one hand, it's made them a lot easier to get hold of, but on the other, it's made them expensive. But this, it cost me £14, and it is a double LP, so whilst it's not a gatefold, we do have 2 LPs, and the tracks are spread across those 4 sides. So, a pretty good buy there. The next one wasn't quite so cheap, but it's a good album. And this is Daft Punk, Random Access Memory. It's been out for a little while now, but I only recently got round to buying myself a vinyl copy. And it did come with a download code. And this allows a MP3 copy to be downloaded, which I've done. It is gatefold, but I've still left it in the protective cellophane, and this is just really to protect it. So I don't actually know what the inside the gatefold looks like. I'm sure I could look it up on the internet, and I'm sure that my wonderful producer will do just that and show you. So I'll just watch this video, I think, and then I'll know what it looks like. But we've got collaboration with people like Giorgio Moroder and I think Pharrell Williams as well. It was Get Lucky. I have a feeling that's with Pharrell Williams. So we've got a couple of big name collaborations in there. But, you know, every track on this really does stand out. It's very electronic. Electronic music seems to be back in. It's like the 80s is back in, but good 80s. Because OMD, they've started releasing new stuff. Even Belinda Carlisle has released a new album after a big hiatus. So it's all go. But good album, that. I've also been an Empire of the Sun fan since I heard the first album. And when the new album turned up, I spotted this in a record shop in Cambridge, actually. Fop Records, I think they were called. Now, there's not a branch of Fop round here that I'm aware of. I think there actually is one in Manchester, but I've not actually seen it. But bought this as one of the albums there just to treat myself. Again, I got it for a good price, not like the 20 quid of Random Access Memory. It was more like 15 quid, which is still expensive, but not as expensive. It is a good album. It does feel like they've revisited some of the themes of their original album, but it doesn't feel like rehashing. We've got that characteristic Empire of the Sun sound with this, and it really does work as an album. I wouldn't say it's as good as the first album, but it comes a very, very close second. Now, Kylie Minogue, I'm sorry, but I really am quite a fan. I did buy her very first single a long, long time ago, I Should Be So Lucky, but she has moved on a lot from there. And the new album is out, Kiss Me Once. I bought this. This comes not with an MP3 code, but you get a CD and a slipcase with this, so I've been listening to it at work a lot. It's not as good as her previous album, that I would like to say first up, and it's something that I do find with Kylie Minogue, is that you do tend to get a lot of filler tracks. She does try different styles, different music, and some things work really well, other things don't. The real standout track on this that actually made me track it down and buy it was I Was Gonna Cancel. Now that is an awesome track. Sexercise as well is quite a good one. Feels So Good. There are some really good tracks on this. It's not a gatefold, but again, It is a double LP, so you're getting 2 vinyl records, and that really does improve the audio quality of these when you listen to them. Now, Lana Del Rey, I really liked her first album, and I've also managed to track down and buy the follow-up album. Well, I think this is technically an EP. Certainly when you buy the CD edition, there is a version where these 2 discs are packaged together. But on vinyl, you buy them separately. So I've got Paradise here by Lana Del Rey. And it is quite a short album stroke EP. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8 tracks, which in my view, any number of tracks under 10 is quite a short album, unless it's Pink Floyd, in which case 8 tracks would probably be really, really long, because they like their old 10-minute numbers. But we've got tracks like Body Electric, Cola, Blue Velvet, Gods and Monsters on here, and it's more of the same. It does very much feel like a continuation of the first Lana Del Rey album. That's not saying that it's bad or that it's filler or it feels like rejected tracks that weren't good enough to get on that first album. It just feels like that they had more tracks than realistically you could put on a single album, and it's a good one to buy. I believe there's a new Lana Del Rey album coming out, and it's certainly an album that I'll be looking to get because I do like her as an artist. The final album from these 6 brand spanking new albums is a new artist. She comes from New Zealand and she's still a teenager. This just isn't fair. She's still at school. She hasn't even been properly to university, and yet she's released an album and it's done rather well, and rightly so, because there's some really good standout tracks on this. It's quite boring artwork, I must be honest, and this is Lorde, Pure Heroine. Certainly boring, but the music is very good, and actually you don't sit there staring at an album cover. Well, not for too long anyway, but you do listen to the music over and over again, and I certainly do. Big singles off this, Tennis Court and Royals are the 2 that spring to mind, and Royals is actually the track that made me really want this album. It is an awesome track. This woman has immense talent, and considering her age, she's comparable really to when Kate Bush was signed to EMI, and I look forward to more output from this girl, and I do hope that she develops and that she really does go places, because the quality of the music on this album means that it would be deservedly so if she did. It is a gatefold. Again, I've not peeled off the cellophane to find out what's in there, but peering down inside, it looks mostly black, so I suspect there's not really much to look at. It isn't actually a double album though. There is a single album, and we don't actually get an inner sleeve there, which is odd, but we do get a lovely booklet, LP size, which has all of the lyrics in, a song per page, and then there's the moody little teenager, just to see what she looks like on a really cheap plastic chair. I use one of those to hold my boat up. And then we've got more lyrics, and that's a somewhat better picture of the artist. And then we've got the usual thank yous and acknowledgements, and there we go. So it's always nice when they go that little bit extra and you get something nice like that. I suppose in the CD version you would actually get the same booklet, but it would be 5 inches rather than 12 inches. So it's something that when you're using the vinyl, you get that little bit extra. It's nice, and it's the main reason why I've been doing these vinyl videos, and why I buy vinyl is because vinyl records give you something so much more than just the music. Music is not just about listening to the music, it's about the whole tactile experience, the aesthetic experience, and there's something very, very satisfying about having something this size, this weight. You get the sleeve artwork, it's bigger, the pictures are clearer, there's more information in there, but then you've got the richer sound, and I've got a really good turntable and pickup system, so I get that extra good quality sound. Yeah, if you play it on some ancient MIDI system with a knitting needle for a pickup, it's going to sound rubbish, but vinyl is something that respects being played off a decent system, so don't skimp with that. But also when it's playing, I find, it's something, I've always, even from a small child, found it fascinating to sit there and just watch a record playing. And I know it sounds odd, but just watching the needle dragging through the groove is something that you can do in a way that listening to any other format you can't watch it play. You know, looking at an iPod is boring. Looking at a tape cassette playing is boring. Looking at a CD playing is boring. But looking at a record playing, it's something that you can appreciate it. And it's kind of a marvellous thing, this analog creation. And you're thinking, that's, you know, that little tiny piece of diamond on the end of that needle is being physically dragged through a groove. And it's the actual indentations on the groove that's creating this music. It is marvellous to watch. Anyway, I'm going to stop going off at a tangent. You take very good care of yourself. Don't forget to like this video and share it too. You know the score. You know it. You know it. You don't need me to keep telling you. But, you know, subscribe to the channel. Blah, 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 blah. Tune in for the next one. Yeah. You know you want to.